Way of Miami-Dade Health Tips. I'm Christina Brito, Senior Program Officer at United Way of Miami-Dade in our health portfolio, one of our 3 pillars. Through my work, I work with community partners in increasing access to care and supporting healthy lifestyles. I'm also your host for today. We're discussing on why wearing masks are important during our pandemic. Joining me today is Dr. Stewart. He serves as the Medical Director for HCA East Florida's Miami-Dade Cardiovascular Surgery programs at Aventura Hospital Medical Center, Kendall Regional Medical Center, and Mercy Hospital, where he is today. Dr. Stewart, welcome to our health tips discussion. It's our pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. So I just want to jump right into our discussion. The first question, we've all been seeing the numbers of COVID-19 rise in Miami-Dade and South Florida. Many of us are concerned in getting it. So as a physician, can you share with us why it's important to be wearing a mask?
So wearing a mask not only protects you, but really protects others. And so this is an opportunity for us to be social beings, to protect our fellow citizens. What the mask does is it creates a barrier for droplets or aerosol that could be infected with a virus from getting into your lungs and nasal passageways. And also when you cough or sneeze, creates a barrier of that fluid from getting into the atmosphere so that other people can breathe it in. So not only is it important for us to wear our masks to protect ourselves, but perhaps more importantly, it's important so that we can prevent a barrier and protect one another. And if we all wear masks, we can flatten this curve and prevent spread of the disease.
Great. And as a follow-up to that question, will wearing a mask ensure that I don't get COVID?
No, there's nothing that's going to ensure that you don't get COVID. But a mask will lessen the chances. For instance, even the most aggressive mask that's available for society to buy, the so-called N95 mask. It's named N95 because it prevents 95% of particles from crossing the mask. That doesn't prevent 100%, it prevents 95. So it's still a matter of the mask is only one aspect of it. The 6 feet of distancing is important. Staying away from sick contacts is important. Staying away from people when you're sick is essential as well. And then the mask is one more thing.
Thank you for that. And you did kind of mention it. So now that places have started opening up and people are trying to make their ways back to the gym and exercising outside, should they be wearing a mask while exercising?
When we start exercising, especially at high heart rates, the so-called high intensity interval training or HIIT exercises, we're getting our heart rate up into what's called zone 4, zone 5, which is 80 to 90% of your maximal heart rate. The problem with that is we start panting then, and we're breathing at 40 breaths a minute. Now, that's just when you need a mask to protect others because you're breathing at a rapid rate, your body's trying to cool itself. Essentially, if you think of a dog with their tongue out and are trying to get their temperature down, same thing for human beings when we're really exercising to our capacity. And so that's going to spread aerosolized droplets all over the place. And that 6 feet of distancing is not really applying anymore. So yes, you need the mask in that to protect others.
So along those lines, because you mentioned N95, you mentioned, the different types of masks that are available. Like, is there a mask that's best to wear for like daily activities, like when in a grocery store? Should I just wear like a cloth face covering to keep me safe? Or is there something that I should be seeking out?
People in society should get a fabric mask. And any fabric mask that's available will create some level of restriction. I brought this with me because this is one I use in daily life. Obviously, I wear a paper mask in the operating room or a surgical mask. But just going to the grocery store, a reusable fabric mask, this has that N95 filter inside of it. Truthfully, I don't know who makes it, but they're ubiquitous on Amazon or on the internet. The nice thing is that it's got a Velcro thing, so you're not tying and untying, which is important. And then it has a sort of a little pouch in the front, so it's not up against your mouth, which is important. So you want to have a mask that's not right up butting your mouth, because that moisture will wet the mask, and when the moisture accumulates, then the mask becomes useless. So that's why fabric masks over the course of time become useless, because it fills up with moisture. So any mask that can be reusable. Now, the important thing when you reuse a mask is that you have to take care of it, and to be mindful that the job of the mask is to filter out disease, and it does a good job with it. But the mask has disease on it now, and so we have to care for our mask, and that's why fabric ones are great, because you can throw it into the washing machine, or you can wash it in the sink. But it's important to keep care.
That's definitely important. Well, Dr. Stewart, I want to thank you for being with us today and discussing the importance of wearing a mask during COVID. I think all of us are concerned at this point with everything that's going on. Obviously wearing the appropriate mask, and, when you're exercising and taking your part in public events and community environments, it is important for us to be wearing our mask. I do want to thank everyone for watching United Way Miami-Dade's Health Tips, and we hope that this tip helps you and your family remain safe. Stay tuned for more health tips in the coming days.